Introduction. When we think of the American Revolution, we often picture George Washington leading troops across the Delaware River, the Continental Army fighting at Bunker Hill, and the signing of the Declaration of Independence. However, behind the scenes, women played a crucial role in the struggle for American independence. Their contributions, though often overlooked, were essential to the success of the revolution. In this video, we will explore the vital roles women played during the American Revolution, from maintaining the home front to engaging in espionage, nursing, and even direct combat. 1. Women on the home front, keeping the economy going. While men fought on the battlefield, women on the home front were tasked with keeping the economy running and supporting their families. Many women took over the businesses, farms, and households left behind by their husbands, fathers, and brothers who went off to war. They ensured that crops were planted, livestock was cared for, and goods were produced. Women were also instrumental in producing supplies for the war effort, from clothing and shoes to ammunition and weapons. Women also organized fundraisers to support the revolution, raising money for the Continental Army. They gathered and distributed supplies to soldiers and helped maintain morale through letters, songs, and other means of communication. In a time when resources were scarce, women's resourcefulness and resilience were indispensable to the war effort. 2. The Daughters of Liberty, political activism and advocacy. One of the most notable groups of women involved in the American Revolution was the Daughters of Liberty, a secret organization formed in the 1760s. Inspired by their male counterparts, the Sons of Liberty, the Daughters of Liberty supported colonial resistance to British rule and worked to promote independence. They were particularly active during the boycott of British goods, which was a critical part of the early stages of the revolution. The Daughters of Liberty organized spinning bees, where women gathered to spin their own cloth, reducing the colony's reliance on British textiles. This was a direct challenge to the British imposed taxes and trade restrictions, and it demonstrated the power of colonial women in the fight for independence. By making their own goods, the Daughters of Liberty helped sustain the revolutionary cause and send a message of defiance to the British. 3. Women as spies and couriers. Women also played a critical role in gathering intelligence and acting as spies during the American Revolution. Since women were often overlooked by the British as potential threats, they were able to move freely and gather crucial information. Some women, like Agent 355, whose true identity remains unknown, acted as spies for the Continental Army, passing along intelligence that helped shape military strategy. One of the most famous female spies was Anna Strong, who was part of the Culper spy ring, an espionage network that provided vital intelligence to General George Washington. Strong used a system of signals, such as hanging laundry in specific patterns, to inform other members of the ring about British troop movements. Women like Anna Strong were invaluable in the revolution's intelligence network, providing information that would otherwise have been difficult to obtain. 4. Nurses and caregivers, supporting the soldiers. While men fought on the front lines, women were essential in caring for the wounded and sick. Some women, like Martha Washington, served as caretakers to soldiers, organizing care and tending to the injured. Other women, such as Deborah Sampson, served as nurses, risking their lives to care for soldiers in battlefield conditions. Women who served as nurses did not have formal training, but their dedication and compassion were critical to keeping soldiers alive and healthy. They worked in makeshift hospitals and field units, performing duties such as preparing meals, cleaning wounds, and providing comfort to the wounded. These women helped maintain the fighting strength of the Continental Army, ensuring that soldiers could continue their efforts on the battlefield. 5. Women in combat, the exception rather than the rule. Although women were generally excluded from direct combat during the American Revolution, there were some notable exceptions. Deborah Sampson, for example, disguised herself several battles and even sustaining injuries. After her true identity was discovered, Sampson was honorably discharged, and her bravery was recognized by Congress years later. Another notable woman who took part in combat was Margaret Corbin. When her husband, John Corbin, was killed during the Battle of Fort Washington in 1776, Margaret took over his cannon position, firing at British forces and providing support to the Continental Army. Although she was eventually injured during the battle, Margaret Corbin's heroism was recognized by General Washington, and she became the first woman to receive a pension from the U.S. government for her service in the military. 6 women's organizations and the war effort. During the Revolution, women also formed organizations that were instrumental in fundraising and mobilizing support for the cause. In addition to the Daughters of Liberty, there were other groups like the Ladies' Association of Philadelphia, led by Esther Durbert Reed, who worked to raise funds to support the Continental Army. The association raised a significant amount of money by organizing a campaign that asked women to contribute money or goods, and it helped pay for clothing for the soldiers. Women also played a role in supporting soldiers' families. With many men away at war, women stepped in to support widows and orphans. They organized charitable efforts to provide food, clothing, and shelter to those in need, ensuring that the burden of war did not fall solely on the shoulders of the soldiers. 7 Women in the war's aftermath, the impact on American society. The contributions of women during the American Revolution had a lasting impact on society. After the war, women who had worked in various capacities, whether as spies, nurses, or caregivers, continued to advocate for greater rights and recognition. The experience of women during the Revolution helped lay the foundation for the early feminist movement in America, as women began to push for greater participation in political and social life. While the revolution did not result in immediate equality for women, it was a pivotal moment that showed that women could contribute to the nation's founding and success. The courage and resilience shown by women during this time would inspire future generations of women to continue fighting for equality and recognition in American society. Conclusion: the role of women in the American Revolution was far more significant than often recognized. From running farms and businesses to engaging in espionage, nursing, and even fighting in combat, women's contributions were essential to the success of the revolution. Their bravery, resourcefulness, and commitment to the cause helped shape the future of the United States and ensured that the war effort continued despite overwhelming odds.